Yeah. With us, in the what? You guys need to catch up. You want another class? All right. So this week actually we had to do something last week that we're starting, and we'll make a complete project today that I did with the other section as well. And it would be a fun project, because the things that we have done till now. And if you guys had a chance to look at the assignment one, that is mostly based on what we did last exercises. It's almost the same. You need to just figure out few things here and there. And then you can say that, okay, how to change the client X, client Y, and how to randomly move the cat on that particular area. You know what I mean? So you just need a little bit of it. But the project that we'll be doing today, it's going to be a very interesting one because this will give us a very holistic picture of what we have been learning so far. And if I just very quickly open that, and let's keep that. This is section one, I know. And what I'll do is that I'll close these things and I'll open my section one. And this is going to be our week 5, right? So very quickly, what I'll do, I will quickly make a week 5 folder in my section one. Again, the code week, oh, sorry, what is that? New folder, week 5, right? And in this week 5, just be with me because I'll share some code with you guys. So I'll create an index.html, right? And I'll create a script folder, scripts, and I'll create one script over here. And actually we have to do what? As I said, we have to do that project. Okay, just one thing I would like to remind you because that's something that we did last week, but I would definitely want to show you. We had dom2.html last week. I'll show you that running once because what we have done, because we'll be using that concept also as well over here. So dom2 was this document. Now, dom2 was this document which had multiple things. One of the things that I want you to just really focus on, of course, I've just implemented that removal. If I click on this more, oh, that's why I just opened up. So we did this one and we are removing the cat. Remember, after some timeout, the cat goes removed. And there were lots of other things happening. There was an XY position also happening here. I've just taken away that XY position. Did we do the XY position of the mouse as well? On the mouse move, right? Okay, I want just one more thing to do before that. So I've again switched back to a little bit for my last week, and this was dom2.js. So first of all, I'll take away this one. I don't want it to removed. Make sense, everyone? So just to make that. And now I'll tell you what I'm trying to do. That would be very interesting. That would be used in our project as well. So you see that this is over here. Now, what I want, when someone clicks on this more button, all the URLs that are there in my cats.js. Do you remember we have a file called cats.js, which has 6 or 7 or any odd number of links over there. What I want, when I click on this more, what happens? All those URLs from that file are extracted and they come here and they make an ordered or an unordered list on my page. Are you guys understanding the purpose? That's why when I click on this more button, it should go and read the cats.js, take out all the URLs one at a time, and try to make an ordered list over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever links are there. And I want to make it very general. There can be thousands of links and they should come. If there is one link, that should come. Make sense, everyone? This is our purpose. Now, from last week's code, and you have that code, I've shared that code. Last week code, we have this DOM2 page over here, right? And I've given an ID of BTN to this more button. Everyone remembers that one? We have given an ID of BTN to this more button. And now I'll do something very interesting in my code, which is DOM2. And I'll close rest of the everything. In DOM2, you remember what we are doing? We have a handle click function where we are just, making a complete function. And then we have this handle cat function. And then we had this cat image URL function. Make sense, everyone? And then we had this timer or something. Now what I'm doing over here, I'm first taking reference of the button. So I'll say BTN is equal to document.querySelector hash BTN. Do you guys see that? Get the reference of the button. Which button? The more button, right? because more button has this ID associated with it. Look at that. Where is that? This one. More button has an ID associated with this one. Now look at that. What I want to associate now an event with this BTN. BTN dot add event listener. And what event? I want to attach an event for click with a click. And let's directly call that, right? Handle more, something like that, right? Remember, I told you that we can do that function call like this one. And now I can define this function. Make sense? Now see here. Let's define this function. What is that? Handle more. I'll create this function. Now listen what this function will do. First of all, you need to know. This function, when this button is clicked, will go in my cats.url, cats.js, reads all the URLs, brings them and create on my output and create an ordered list over there. Are you guys making sense of it? I'll show you in reality. It's not like we talked about this. I'll show you in the DOM. So for example, after this button, if I just give one div for my output, for example, I say output. You see, I have a div output. So what I want, that this function should do something like this. It should create an OL. It should create an LI. Are you guys getting that one? I'm writing that in the comments because we have to do this with the code, right? LI and URL1. I'm not writing the URL, by the way. And LI, URL2, and up to so on. Are you guys understanding that one? All the URLs, and then in the end, it just closes that OL. So do you guys understand what we are doing? This HTML should be produced by what? By our function. And the function is what? Handle more. The function name is what? Handle more. Does that make sense? So we have to do this by code. And I want you to just, first, concentrate on what I'm doing over here. You type later on because, you'll get the code ultimately, but try to concentrate. So we are sure, okay, this function has to produce this output, and this function will do that actually. Now, let's interestingly start something. And first of all, do you remember that we have event or E over there? And did I tell you about the E.prevent default? No? Oh, I did not tell you about, okay, no problem. I'm not telling you, I'll tell you if it is needed. So let's do that. Handle more. So what handle more does, like this function will does, first of all, it creates an OL, ordered list. Document dot create element, remember? And what I want to create, an OL, ordered list. Does it make sense to everyone? Now, here is a concept. Do you know that my cats.js has multiple URLs? It is not one URL. If I go to cats.js, open that one as well. Look at that. Cats has multiple, maybe 6, 5, I don't know. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. There are URLs. So actually, I need to work on each URL. So can you suggest which method or which loop I should use over here?
Map.
Map. Anyone else? We might want to use map as well. We can use for each as well over here because I have to bring one URL and create one row for that. Bring one URL, not row, create one LI for that. Make sense? Now see what I'll do, how I'll do that. Now see here, I come here and I write cats.for each. Do you guys understand? Cats.for each. For each value of cats URLs, take one URL at a time and pass it in this function. Do you guys make sense of it? Take one URL at a time and pass it over here. Now, should we do some of the debugging alongside? Because I always told you that do the debugging. Let's do the debugging. And I console log whether I'm getting the right URLs, whether I'm able to read all the URLs one after the other or not. Are you guys getting that one? I'm just wanting myself to be very sure. Let's go back over here and let's run our inspector, and it's running at the right place now today. And I open my console here. Look at that. If I click on this more button, do you guys see that? I am able to read all the URLs. So you understand? For each, cats.for each. Take one URL and console right now. Console. We don't have to console actually. Yes.
So when you say cats.for each, the cats is the JavaScript.
Wonderful. Do you guys remember that cats.js I included in my HTML file? Do you guys remember that? We have two inclusions there. So cats is an array. I'll show you. I'll show you. This is good question. And see here, Amjad, because I want you to be very sure. Look at that. It's actually an array. So when I say cats dot for each, I'm talking about each link over here. Each value or each field separated by the comma.
Oh, so you're not really talking about the file itself, you're talking about the name of the array.
Exactly. We are saying from this file, just go and read the cats array. And this is very interesting. I can make multiple arrays and I can access them with their name. For example, I make let dogs is equal to another array. Let cars is equal to another array. And when I'm accessing this cat.js is already there in my dom.html. Do you guys remember that? Just want to remind you. Look at that. Is it cats.js already included? Now I'm free to use this cat. And do you guys remember when we were doing next cat image URL, we were using cats of bracket. Remember cats of when we were just bringing all the pictures? Cats of I. Do you guys remember that one? In our previous code, I have shown you, we have done that already before. Look at that if I show you this one. Yeah, when I say current index, you see cats of the current cat index. And you remember current cat index always used to be one plus when we were calling this function. Is that making sense? So do you guys understand this cats dot for each here? This is a very interesting one. Look at that. Cats dot for. So I have successfully able to read all the URLs one after the other. Now can you tell me the next step? What is the next step? Display them, yeah? I create an li element for every URL and put this as a text inside that. Are you guys getting that one? Let's solve it in our mind. I have to create one li for every URL. That's why I produced OL before for each, because I don't want to create OL over and over. I just want to create what? Li over and over, because there will be LIs for the links. Are you guys getting that one? Now see, and please just have a look at that. I'll just comment out this URL and let's see what I'll say. I'll say let li is equal to document dot create element and create an li for me. Very simple. I'll keep it very simple right now. Li dot inner text is equal to, can someone tell me what should I write here? URL. Every URL should become the part of this li. Make sense? But I need one more step over here. When this li is created, I need to append that li to my OL. What does that mean? Take one URL, create an li, append to OL. Take the other URL, make an li and append to OL. Are you guys getting that? So that will also happen in Doom. Yes.
So that way you make the li tag, you make the OL tag the parent tag.
So actually OL is before the for each. So OL is only one. But when you see that OL dot append child, whenever you create a new li, pass it inside the OL. Pass it inside the OL. Are you guys getting that one? Passing inside the OL. If anyone is not clear, just ask me, because we have few students today, so we get benefit of that. Are you guys getting that one? Create one li and embed in OL. You know what will happen? When this for each will exit, my OL will be all cooked up, ready for me. Do you guys agree to that one? Because OL is continuously getting LIs. In every iteration, OL gets one li. Are you guys getting that one? Now I would see you another debugging here. If I come here and before even doing something really, can I check whether my OL is something ready for me or not? You guys make sense? Let's go back and let's run that. I come here and I clean that, I refresh that, and I click on more. Look at that. Do you guys understand? We have got an OL. And that was our purpose. What is the last step?
Append the OL to the div.
I'm asking everyone. You always reply. Amjad, can you reply that? What will be the next step? OL is ready. Now I have to take it to my HTML. And which area I want to take it to? I just created that area for ourselves. And what is that area? Do you guys remember? I'll tell you. That area in my HTML is, if I show you, this div ID is equal to output. Do I need to append the newly created OL over here in the output area? And I'll give you the comment. Actually, I have to do this. And do you see that this is already cooked up, prepared for me? I have to just embed it over here. Make sense? How would I do it? Yeah.
Inside the function rather than creating HTML.
Yes, we can do that. But whenever you create something, you need a reference where you want to put it.
Yes.
He's a very valid question. He says, can we create even div also over there? Yeah, you can do that. But do you understand what I'm saying? You need a reference where you need to put it there. So that's why I've created div over here and creating OL over there. In the
Any
code.
method that we can refer to, like we need to add the div after the button section.
Oh, yeah, we can create. Okay, you say that instead of putting an OL, I keep on putting the DL, like divs, for example. That's what you said? No.
Uh, so
You
in the
need to
JavaScript,
create
Uh-huh.
it as well. Yeah, the JavaScript.
JavaScript create a div and then append it after the button.
Appended div.
Yeah. That's also very much possible. You know what he's saying? I understand. He's trying to say, for example, I don't know if it makes a little bit confusing for others, but it should not be. I create one div over here as well. For myself, not for no reason. You know, I say that this is no reason, but let's say if you say, I create a div here. Now look at that. Now, I would say that, okay, when it is done, for example, when it is done, first of all, div dot append child. Do you understand? Let's do that this way, no problems. Div dot append. And now should we follow the other step as well? Because we know that what's consoling. Can I do, what is the next step? Anyone? I'll write document dot query selector. Which one? Hash output. Do you guys remember that one? My output area where I have to output this one. Make sense? And what should I do? Dot append child. And what child I should append now? Div, because I have created a div somehow. Even though I could have done OL with, but I've created a div. So he's right. And I'll show you something interesting on his question. So now let's see whether I have done something right or wrong. Let's close that. I don't console anything. Now look at that. If I click on more, do you see my all links are appearing over here? Now, for your information, I'll tell you a very interesting thing. If I go to the inspector and I show you the elements created elements, do you see that in my div output, for no reason, I am having another div which has an OL. So do you guys understand? We could have avoided this div that you created. You know what I mean? But that was the question. That's why I just discussed it.
No, my question is not like
Okay, what's that?
So like create a whole div
Okay.
of the output
Hmm.
only in the JavaScript and then add in a specific position in our HTML page.
Okay, yeah. So I answered that before, and again, we can do that. So again, let's do that. This div is created now, and if I want to put it at the end of the body, for example, make sense? You understand this question? He says that, okay, I just created a div and I want to put it anywhere. Yes, you can put it anywhere, but then you will have to little bit think more about it. You know, there is a sibling element concept as well. Go to the sibling of, for example, H1 and do that. You know what I mean? But usually speaking, you know, you can do that. But right now, what we are doing that we had already a div created, and we said just create an OL and put it over there. You know what I mean? So, but you are right. We can do that one as well. So if you want to say, I want to put it not here, but rather at the body, after the body. So you know what I'll do? I'll, instead of accessing this all, let's make it comment. And I'll say document.body, it's itself recommending me. Maybe it's listening to my lecture, right? So just do this with the body. You know, AI is very dangerous these days. So now see that what will happen. If I click on more, look at that. It is coming on the down. And actually, you know where it's coming? It's coming at the end of the body. Yes.
So can we add the div between H2 and H1 and H2?
Yeah, we can do that. There is an element. I'll show you. So you are asking very good questions, but again, it is just a little bit time taking, but I'll do that. Don't worry. So you see that I have an H2, for example, right? I have an H2 and this is my div. And for example, you want to put it after, like, you know, before H2, for example, you know, let's put it this way. And can I give it something like, pick to something? I've just given the name to this one, right? Now see here. If you want to put it somewhere over there, there are multiple options, but I'm telling you one option. I'll say document dot query selector hash, pick one. I've just given pick one, right? Pick two. Okay, pick two. Now see here, dot insert before. Make sense? Let's see. If I'm not making a problem in syntax, hopefully it should do that. Insert before. You see that? If I click on that one, it's not working. So maybe what happens is that I'll tell you what is the syntax of it, because I remember I need to give the place where I want to insert it before. So for example, let's say Look, I think I remember that. So here I would say document dot query selector hash pick2, sorry, pick2. And then I would say, after that, I put comma and I would say div. Do you guys understand? I am little bit remembering the syntax. The insert before syntax is that you need to give the element from where before you want to put that. You know what I mean? So, what I'm doing, I've tried to access the pick2 area and I've said before that, put the div. Make sense? Now let's do that. And again, if I'm making a mistake in syntax, we can just again check that. Refresh. It's not working. So again, I might need to, why not we'll do that before. Let pick2 is equal to document dot query selector hash pick2 save. After that, I'll have to look into the syntax, right? We'll look syntax, no problem. Insert before pick2 the div. I think should work now. And if it does not work, we will go there and we'll have to find out the insert before syntax, right? Yes, I need the help with that syntax. Let's see that. Insert before. Insert before is not a function in JavaScript. First of all, it says it's a node method. Now let's see that. That's the mistake I'm making. It's a node method, not a function. It's a node something. It's not a JavaScript function. But let's see that. I want to see the syntax of this basically. Okay, it's not giving that interesting answer. Insert before method. I just want to look at. So, new node and reference node. You see that? Do you remember? I'm making the reverse maybe. I'm making the reverse. Look at that. So I'll come here and I'll now put if before, and then after that, I'll say pick2. Make sense, everyone? Let's try that one out. So that was the syntactical maybe issue. Let's do that. It is still not working. And now I'll go to inspector and try to find out what's happening. Because you see that there is an error coming up. Not found. Failed to execute insert before on node. The node before which the new node is to be inserted is not a child of this node. Okay. Okay. You see that? What's the error? Can you guys read the error and try to understand? It says that failed to execute insert before. And why? On the node before which the new node is to be inserted is not a child of this node. So it might be, it requires them to be the child of each other or something like that. I don't know. Let me just see that. And let's try to find out what we'll do. Not this one. Okay, let me just see that. Insert before new node and insert returns a value exception. Now let's see here. New node, parent div. Okay, yeah. So this really answers. Look at that. Let's discuss this one. They have created a new node, which is for us it is div. For example, we have just created div or something, and here they said get the reference to the parent node. So parent div is equal to document.get element by the child element. So whatever is the element of that, it's parent node. Remember the parent node, try to access the parent node. And then let sp2 is equal to document.get element by child element and parent div dot insert before new node. Okay, so what is missing over here? Just a little bit. If I talk about that one, I'll show you the code. In our code, this if I have to make this before this h2, I might have to put both of them. You understand what I'm saying? For example, I'll have to put them both of them in my div, and let's give it an ID of parent, for example, right? And I put both of them in div. I always make mistake in this one. Let's do that. Yeah. Yeah, we can use body as a parent. Yes, you're right. I can use the body as a parent as well. Why not? Let's do the body. Yes, right. Take away this one. You're right. So now let's do that. We come here and we say document dot body. Just correct me if I'm going wrong. Any dot insert before, right? And now what is that? I have to first of all take this pick2, right? And then div. Is that correct? Is that the other way around? Okay. It's the other way around. Div dot pic2. Look at that. Let's do that. Body. Let's say body is the parent of all. So let's see if body works with that one. Okay, let's click on that. Yeah. So you know what we were missing? And I always make mistake in this syntax of insert before. Insert before actually requires the parent reference, and then two siblings can talk to each other before me. So now you see that body is the parent, and this is one child, and then for example the one div that we are creating. So the div that we have created, we have just said insert it before, but where do you insert that? Insert in the body. Body is the parent of all. So that was a good question, and we we have just somehow come up with a new method as well. But again, this was all we can do that, but particularly this was all an exercise that has given us a new method. But otherwise, we can place it anywhere. You can just take it anywhere at all. Okay, let's go back to our previous version and whatever we were doing. Okay, so I've just deleted that one, and even I'll delete this one as well. And what I'll do is that what we were doing, append child OL, right? So we are not creating any div at all, because now we have created the div. So I've removed the div, and so what I'll do is that not div over here. And now what is that? It will be document dot query selector. And what is that? Hash output. No. What I've called that one, where I want to just display this one. What is the name of that ID of that one? Yes, output, right? Output. Hash output dot append child, right? I hope we are back to the original one, and let's see that. Refresh, click on that, and we get the links over here. We get all the URLs over here. Is that interesting? Now what we can do, you have a JavaScript file, you go there and you read that everything, and you can do something. Now, can you guys very quickly, those who are here, there's those who have come who might not be, can you guys make these as links? These appear, but they are not links right now. You see that they are black color. It means they are not links. Can you do something somehow, make them, convert them into links as well? Can you guys try that out? When they appear, and I come and I click on this one, the image open, the cat image open. When I click on this one, the cat image open. Can you guys try that out for very quickly?
We have to just add it in text.html, just do that anchor.
Can you do that? You might not have the code, right? Because I think you just came out, right? Yeah, anyone else? Let me tell you. Let's take the solution. Let's talk the solution. And there are multiple solutions. I'm telling you the easiest one. Look at that. Instead of putting URL directly over here, and instead of putting in inner text, do you guys remember we have another one? Inner HTML. And I take a backtick. And look at that. Very simple. I put a anchor. href is equal to, are you guys understanding what we are doing? Href is equal to, now here, put the variable. And what is the variable? URL. And now close A. And now, what should I write in between? URL again. Are you guys getting that one? And now I'll close the A. Sorry, I'm missing a bracket for what? Okay. And then I'm also missing this inverted commas. And which one I'm missing? Anything else I'm missing also? I think no, maybe. Let's do that. And okay, so this is li, and I want to have this inner HTML there. Now look at that. And I will give you time to just type this now, right? Okay, something else has happened. I made a mistake maybe. li.innerhtml, a href is equal to URL, and then URL. Okay, just have a look at that one. Why it is not producing this? I'll come here and inspect that, because inspector will tell me what's the problem. Reference error of a window. Oh my God. A window. Look at that. Somehow this A appeared over there, right? Okay, now let's do that. And I come here and I click on this. Do you guys see that? They have come in the link. You see the power of backticks now? How interesting it has become. You are as if you are just writing a string, but you are just interpolating the variable URL. I'll make it much more interesting, but do you guys understand that one? I'll keep it both things open so that you can see everything. Now see here. Do you guys now understand? A href is equal to, do you guys understand what is this URL? It is linked to itself. And then after A, the text should appear. The same text should appear. Text is appearing over there. And now we have got this one, and we are appending that, and we get 6 element. And you know, if we have thousands and thousands of URL, everything will appear over here. Yes.
I don't get that. Why we use URL two times?
URL two times. Can someone explain why URL two? Yeah, yes, I'm just go ahead.
One is
Why?
the source, where it takes you to, when you click on the text, and one is the text itself, so.
Wonderful. That's a very good explanation. But for you, Kalyan, I can do one thing. You understand that? Yeah, you understand that one? Otherwise, I can write a comment over here and you will see. You know, you understand why URL is twice? First, this is href, that reference, and then the text itself. And that is what we want to change. You know, one of my students, he asked a question. I usually used to leave it like that. He said, it looks very cluttered. Can we have a very clean picture one, picture two, or URL one, URL two, URL three, instead of this cluttering? So yes, we have. You know, this power of backticks will make it possible. Let's do that. I don't want to show these URLs. Instead, I want to show another string instead of that, but that should be linked to this one. So your question, why there are URL twice? I want to maybe take away the URL once, and I want to put something else. For example, if I come here, instead of this second URL, I write picture, just picture. Look at that. That also is a little bit of issue, little bit of problem. You see that I have picture. Now, can I ask you guys just one favor? Can you just write this code? This code is here. You have to just make a very little adjustment. I'll see how many of you can do that. Again, the same play that I plus IV played with. Can you guys do that? Like this picture should have 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever picture comes, it should come with an index number. Can you guys try that out? Do you understand what I'm saying? Every picture, when this appears, it needs to have a number with it. And that number should be a dynamic number. Again, it keeps on increasing. For first value, it might be 1, or you're going to start with 0 by the way, don't worry. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you know what I'm saying? So this output also does not look very pretty because I need to have something being attached to them. Can you guys try that out? Can you try that out? Try that out. It's very.
I'm not following your code.
Oh, okay, no
I'm
problem.
listening.
But do you understand that everything? This is quite interesting. Wonderful.
We don't have this whole code.
Oh, I did not share this code last.
The last trend, I did not find it.
Oh my God. This was Friday's code? Okay. What I'll do right now, I'll just share it very quickly. If you want, you can just right now download that. No worries. Sorry about that. And do you have your Teams open, by the way? You should have. So I will share on the Teams. Code for week 4. And it's almost completed, right? Here it is. Now I'll just link that. And you guys get the code, right? Please. Sorry about that if you don't. You know, you sent me an email, I sent some other code, I think. I did not send you the Friday code, sorry. Yeah.
Should we rename it as Week5?
No. This is week 4 still. I was just doing something from the week 4. Now we'll make week 5. This is week 4. Keep it week 4, right? It's the same folder. Now, who has done that? I'm waiting for that solution. And that's I would once again assure you that again, that exercise that we did was not useless. You'll see that there it's very useful. Sorry? The evaluation?
Yeah.
Right before Friday. I'll discuss that. Yeah. Now should we do that very quickly? See what I can do. I can come here and I can say let I equal to 0. Look at that. I equal to 0. And if I come inside this and after the picture, I say in the square brackets, I say I plus plus. Do you remember again the post increment? So first it will show 0, then 1, then 2. Every time it will be called, or it will be, the loop will run. I will keep on incrementing. Look at that, I'm just what I've done. I have just defined a variable before for each I is equal to 0. And in my this string, I just interpolated I plus plus. Now, do you remember what I plus plus does? Use the value from the previous step and they make one increment. So the first time it will be 0. The second time it will become 1 when again the method is called. If I met, so now if I just run that now and I hit save and I show you, look at that. It's starting with 0. Don't worry about that. We can mask that as well. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that if I had thousands of pictures, it would have shown all of them perfectly. Yes.
What we just mentioned that 0, so can we skip the 0? Like
Oh, that's something that I would leave for you for the time being. Listen. Right now, I've just defined it 0. I can come in and I can say it 1 as well.
Yeah.
But then you'll have to play over here a little bit of trick that shows the 0 as well. Again, you need to mask that. But I'll leave that for you. You understand what I'm saying? It's very easy. Even you can start with the 0 and you can show 1 at the start. And that would be a masked value, but value will be coming with from the 0. So for that, you might need to take out I from here and you have to put that I somewhere else. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
little bit.
Sorry?
Little bit.
A little bit, okay. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
this file share, the HTML file is empty.
HTML5 is,
Empty, yeah.
Equals to.
Oh, yeah.
it's empty. HTML5.
It's down to.
DOM2.html is empty. DOM2. Now, if you, yeah. Oh, you cannot find that on the Teams? Okay. Just give me a second. You know what I'll do? Just see here. In that same share where I've shared, I'll share individual files, right? Look at that. I'll share individual files. This is section 1. And see here. This is week 4. And see, from the pages, I'm sharing DOM and DOM2. DOM and DOM2. And from the scripts, I'm sharing. From the scripts, I will share maybe all the scripts. Right? You can choose. It's DOM2, by the way.
Yeah.
So I have just shared them files separately, DOM files and everything. You'll find that everything. Now, is that interesting? We can create that one and we can have. Now, he's asking a question, and I think I should leave it on you that how to mask that. Value will be coming from the 0, but it should show it should show picture 1, not 0. Can you just try that out? Again, he's asking that we have started I with 0. And of course, if I is 0, here it will start with the first URL. So I say, even it should always bring the first URL. But instead of 0, can we show here a 1 instead? Take the picture of 0, but show the 1. Take the picture of 1, show 2. Are you guys getting that one?
I is equal to 1.
I is equal to
1.
Oh, if we start I equal to 1, then it will skip the 0 because 1 will be used here. You know what I mean? Okay, let's do that. See here, what I'll do. Instead of doing this I plus plus, I'll do it I plus 1. Now listen. I have done I plus 1. Now, there will be a problem. I'll show you the solution. Look at that. Now, do you see that it has mapped and it's showing 1? Even though the value of I is 0, it never changes. You know why it does not change it? I plus 1 does not make increment. Make sense? I plus 1 just temporarily add 1 to it. Are you guys getting that one? Now I need one more step. And what is that one more step? Can anyone guess that? The one more step is I'll now say I is equal to I plus 1, or I can just do that over here. Do you guys understand? Now it's not missing any URL by the way. It's bringing the 0, 1 as well. You know why? It has mapped here. So it has a wrapper around that. So 0 comes and it says 0 plus, it just shows 1. But actually the value of I is what? Actually the value of I is what? 0. So the URL, the first URL will be coming up and URL will be anyhow coming up from that. But here it is that with the respect of I, it is just mapping the values and showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which does not make any. Yeah.
So why don't we type let I equal to 1, then I plus plus, and increment.
Yeah, you can do that.
1, 2, 3, 5, same result, right?
Yeah, you can do that. Okay, no worries, no worries. 1, that's what you want to say, right? And make it plus plus, right? Now there will be this one, and now of course this not required. Same, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So this very much sums up our this exercise. Is that a good exercise? You know how to just make your element, how to just go into JavaScript. Read that. You guys missed that actually. You know. Actually, you know what we did? What we did? Sorry.
It's getting too fast.
It's getting.
Too fast.
No, it's not. It's not fast. Actually, you came after around 20 minutes of the 25 minutes of the class. Start of the class. Was it very fast from the beginning? I think we went. You know, actually, when you came, we had already done a lot of. So train has just gone now. So now what we do? You guys take the code. I've shared the code. Take the code, and let's see. Because I'm recording this right now, so you might want to see the recording, just the beginning of that 20-25 minutes, right? That would be enough for you. All right. So this very much ends our week 4 contents. Now, actually, in week 5, we have to discuss something else, but we'll start with the library project. And I told you that we'll start with the library project. Now look at that. So I'll close this DOM2, DOM and cat, everything. And now I have this week 5, and I showed you that there is a empty, empty script and empty HTML file over here. Make sense, everyone? And now please don't type any HTML because I will share HTML with you. Don't worry. I'll share HTML with you. Just give me a second and I'll share that with you.
Little bit scared.
The folder that was like
Now, please, everyone, please, I'm sharing the HTML code. Can you please copy and paste into your index.html for today? I'm just sharing that for you. Yeah, sorry. I'm just about to share that. Section 1. And so, no, I'm just sharing the HTML code. Look at that. And I'll show you. Here is the code on your Teams. And now you just need to copy that. And look at that. You need to paste that in your index.html. I want your index should be like this. Make sense? Copy the code from Teams and paste it on today's, like week 5's index.html. And when you are ready, just let me know that you are ready with that. Week 5, yes. And in week 5, we have index.html and we have a script in the scripts because we are making that library project. And I've shared the HTML with you. Got it, everyone?
Sir?
Yeah.
How to find the announcements?
How to find what?
Announcement, the code. I don't know how to use this. Yeah.
You said creative, so.
Yeah, it's here.
Oh,
In the Teams. It's here. Just copy that. Have you guys copied that one? If you have copied properly, successfully, and just run this without anything. Let's run this one. Open with live server. Look at that. I've got this over here. You guys see that? Everyone should see output like this. It's a very bad, jammed up few things, but I talk about that. You see the output like this? With a single click will change this output, don't worry. But right now the output should be like this, right? Add book, and then title ISBN author, add book, title ISBN author, and it's all jammed up together because there is no CSS. I know everyone is good with this. Copy the HTML, paste it index.html, and then I'll try to be slow now, right? I'll try to go with speed. But I would be definitely looking for the feedback from you guys quickly because, as fast as I get feedback, we will have a little bit of things to do. Now, when you are done with that, now here I'll ask a question. How many of you know? Oh, someone has opened the meeting chat, looks like. So please don't open the meeting because of course it's recording. So how many of you know that there are pre-made CSS, a lot of pre-made CSS that we can just call in our document if we don't want to work on our CSS? Do you know that there are lots of pre-made CSS available?
Yes.
Have you guys heard? Bootstrap is a complete library. Other than that, there are lots of them. So I'm using one of them. And my document will change big times. It will be all the styling that you would see is applied. Now, which I want to use, look at that. The first step in our HTML page, I'll go. Look, the CDN or it's called skeleton CSS CDN, skeleton. Can you write this? Skeleton CSS CDN. And now click on the first link. Now please follow me otherwise. So click on the first link. You see this CDN.js link, right? Here you need to do a little thing. This first link coming up, copy the middle one, copy link tag. Look at that, my mouse. Copy the link tag, the middle button. Link tag, copy that. Copy that. And I want you to keep your document open because we want to see what is happening to that document. Now go back to our index.html. And now here, look at that where I'm doing. After title, hit enter. After title, hit enter. And paste what we have copied from there. Paste it. Right? After paste, look at that. I'm hitting Control S. You see that? So actually, this is all styling being done by Skeleton, not myself. But we have used some classes of that, like Bootstrap, like others, right? We can use that. How Skeleton knows like we want like Skeleton does not do anything dumb. It's all dumb. Actually, what is happening? We have made use of Skeleton, and Skeleton knows that wherever there is a form, I have to make this form like this. So I have created a form. But yes, there is one class that I've used, and I'll tell you which class is that. But first of all, I want now everyone's output should have become looking very prettier now, like this, right? Can I have a response from everyone? Is it good? Wonderful. I see a lot of people. Now, I talk about this skeleton as well. First of all, I'll tell you, let's talk about this HTML that I've shared with you because we have saved our time and I close my head, not my head, my HTML head, right? So now see here. So on the document body, if you see here, first thing do you see div class is equal to container. Now, when you were studying Bootstrap last semester, did you know that actually container is a default class that we use to define all the wrapper around our component? Do you know that Bootstrap has those viewing areas, different viewing areas, which are called what points? They are called breakpoints. They are called breakpoint. Do you know in Bootstrap, container has different names. Dot container SM, dot container XL, dot container fluid. The most important of good. Fluid is responsible 100% on every screen size. I should not be sounding strange to you. If you don't know, I will show you online because that's something I want. But anyhow, we'll talk about that. But anyhow, first of all, my whole body of document is wrapped around this div container. Do you understand that? Div class is your container. So container is the class right now which is defined in my skeleton. And I don't worry about that. I just use the skeleton. And it will take care of my all the spacings, margins, paddings, everything. Now, after that div, look at that. I have an H1, of course, very understandable, add book. Then I have a div ID is equal to notify. Now let's start a little bit talking about this. If I come here, actually this area will be used. Oh, sorry. This area will be used for making notifications. Are you guys understanding? It will look like the last project. Do you remember that we defined an area for putting up our row, our OL over there? In the same way, we'll put in a notification. When something successful will happen, we'll put a notification. Something bad will happen, we'll put a notification, right? Okay. So div, don't worry about this. It has an ID notify. Just remember that. No need to remember. We'll talk about that. Then we have a form in our document. Form. Now, I have a very quick, go ahead. In the notify. For making notifications. It's an empty div. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? I'll actually pop up the menus over here. Pop up a message here. A message pop.
CDN.
Sorry? CDN? Oh, you need CDN? Okay. So, okay. If you need CDN, don't worry. Here is the CDN. Right? Oh. Okay. It's after the title. This is it, right? Okay. Sorry. When I'm just speaking and so lots of things going on in my mind, so I usually don't get the question. Sorry about that. Okay. Right. So now let's come back here. So now we have a form here. Now, I'm very much expecting you guys have worked on forms in your last course. Forms, input type is equal to text, input type is equal to password, input type is equal to all those stuff. You guys know about that now? Now listen, here to this form, there were two major attributes of that form, method and action. Who remembers what was method, what was action? With the form. There were two attributes that you used to write here, but I have not written them. I've just written ID is equal to form 1 or form. What was the method and action? Does anyone remember with the form? No, don't remember. Post. Sorry? Post. Method get and post. There are two methods. And what is action? Action is, listen, I'm just telling you, it's not my, it's not my topic, but I'm telling you, it's very important. Excuse me. Action is what you want to do with the data when it is submitted. Action. What action you want to take? Do you want to submit it to a PHP file? Do you want to send it to an email? Do you want to do something, etc.? That's called action. What is method? We have two methods. One method is get method and one is post method. Does that light on something in your mind? I'll tell you. When you do something with get method, it goes as a part of the URL. When you use the post method, it goes as a part of the body of the document. And since you guys know the forms, I would do that for you. I'll show you because you will enjoy that. This is something you should know. You ought to know. Now look at that. I come here and I say action equal to, and let's say I'm saying I have a data.php. I don't know. I'm just saying data.php file, right? And then I come here and I say method equal to, let's say get. I'm using get method. Now, do you guys remember that you have seen this method and action? Action is where you want to send the data. I want to send this data to data.php. And method, I want to use which method? Get method. Make sense? Now see here, I'll show you something. When I fill in the form, I'll make it bigger. When I fill in the form, ABC, 1, 2, 3, ABC, and I submit this form, look at my URL. Now, how many of you remember our first class or second class when I showed you query string and when I showed you that how can we change the skin of the Wikipedia page? You guys remember that? Question mark, use skin. Do you guys remember that? Yeah. Query string, I showed you. Now look at that. Query string, title is equal to ABC. Look at the URL. Title is equal to ABC and ISBN is equal to 1, 2, 3. Then I entered. Author is equal to ABC or QBC, whatever. Do you guys know what is happening? Actually, it is sending the data. And it's sending data where? It is trying to send this data to what? Which does not exist. You guys getting that one? But I want to tell you the method. Do you see the get method? Now here I'll tell you a very little interesting joke. Not joke. This is something that all web developers do for the first time. You are not the fresh developers, but you should do that. Look at that. In my form, just you don't do that, just look at my output. In my form, you know that there is another input element which is called password. Input type is equal to password. Do you guys know that? So let's give it a name, and I say PWD, and I give it an ID, PWD. Look at that. I'm about to tell you something real cool, a real hack that you can do with your friends. Now see here. I have now another field which is looking very odd because I have not created for purpose. I've created for different purpose. Now see here. I enter ABC here, and I enter my password. I don't tell you which password I've entered. And I'll make it bigger. And I click add book. Can you guess my password? Can you guess my password? Yes, you can. Not guessing. You can see my password with your own eyes. Do you see my password? What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know actually what is happening on a not a lighter side, on a serious note. When you use get method, the data goes as the part of URL. It goes as a query string. And did I give you this same example of Google as well, how Google searches the things? If not, I'll show you. I think you have forgotten. Maybe someone have forgotten what they had in the breakfast today. So let's see that. I'll show you. If I write cats again, I love cats, right? So see here. I'll show you something interesting. Look at that. Do you see that actually? Good. You see that? Okay. So see here. Now I would like to show you something. If I just write here, Q is equal to dogs, for example, look at that. You know what I'm trying to say here? Query string is something that actually tells what to do. So it is going to the search route. Action is search. And it's not something I'm talking about out of the world. You know, you can always go in the source of Google and find out this in the forms. Should I show you? I think it's a good thing to show you because you guys should know that. Now this is my Google page. If I go to inspector, and if I go to this elements, and if I just try to come over here, wait, hold on, I'll show you something. If I just come here and I show you, this is my div. Look at that. It has a form. How many of you guys can see the form now? Look at that. You have hacked the Google form here. Look at that. Form action is equal to what? /search. Forget about autocomplete. And that's even what? You see that? Do you see that? Actually, Google also sends your query in the top of that. So actually, we know what's query we sent. But did I show you the password? How you can hack someone's password? Then I have made a website. You enter your ID and password, and I will log you in onto your Facebook. For example, if you ask someone and they enter their password and you use the get method. So even though on one hand you will log them on the Facebook, but on the other hand on the URL you can find their password. You know what I mean? So just for, so you see that this form is used over there. I don't know why you are just trying to make this course so much guide up. You know how interesting it is when you are learning form, you can just literally go and look at the form of Google. And that's why, that is the beauty of web. That web is so flexible. Can you imagine looking at the code of Microsoft Word at all? How programmers have written down Microsoft Word? You cannot never find because it's a proprietary and it's something. But if something is on the web, do you see that you can even go there? And did I show you that through the DOM programming, I can even change the title in my memory, in my browser memory. Make sense, everyone? Anyhow, yes, someone was raising hand here. Yeah.
So if we go to Facebook, for example,
Yeah.
let our friends type in the username and password.
Mhm.
We can go to inspect and add the method get into the form.
Wonderful. He says that, yes, somehow if you are able to change that, it will do that. But I was saying you make your own page. You said I'm this page, my website. And you enter your ID and password, and it will, on the back, it will go in and log in you to the Facebook. So they'll say, okay, I very happily enter my ID and password and I hit yes, sign in. So when my data will be going, you can see that on the URL. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just for fun. But you are right. You can, if you can change that for your memory, it might change that one. But it's just for your memory, remember. When we make a hit, When you say sign in, actually server activates. And when server activates, everything goes back to the normal. You know what I mean? That's not my browser menu. Anyhow, where we have gone. Let's come back. Let's come back. Okay, so form. Do you guys understand this form a little bit now? Let me show you. I'll just close all of them and I'll run that again. All right, so look at that. So I have this book. Now in this form, so again, I have just given an ID of form one. And remember, there is no action, there is no method. Okay, sorry, I was telling you that there is a post method as well. If I make post method, look at that. If I make post method and I show you something, I enter something and I enter my password and I don't tell you that it is 126. But anyhow, let's see. And if I hit add book, do you guys see that something interesting? Post method does not send your data as part of URL. Do you understand the very basic difference between get and post? There are lots of others.
Just post stored in memory.
Sorry?
Just post.
No, post actually makes it the part of the body rather than the head or the URLs. Make sense? Post actually makes it the part of the body and body goes with the data. Payload. It's called payload that goes with the body. But when you are using the get method, it takes your data to the URL. You see that even Google is doing that for you. Google is sending your queries as a get method. And we have seen by our own eyes that Google's code, right? Okay, let's move. Now the not last thing. Now another thing that I want to tell you that for every input box, I have created a div. And you know, there is a logic behind that. Every input box, you should give it a div. And I'll just come back. This is now I created one useless one. Where did I create that? I want to delete that one because I don't need this, right? This is my page. Now, here is one thing. Just look at that. Label for ISBN is equal to. Do you know that what is this label for? Do you guys know why we give the label over here? Label is equal to for is equal to. Do you guys know what is the use of this label for equal to? Sorry. That's for the ID. And you know what is the interesting part? If I click on title, I get focus inside that one. So if you give the ID of any element, it becomes attached to that one. Now I'll show you an interesting thing. If I come here and I say author, I say author here and look at that. I click on title. Do you see? My focus set is on author. You understand? In for, we give the ID of the element that I want to attach with this label. You want to attach this with the label, right? All right, so let's come back. All right, so now see that. So, okay, and then input. Now the last thing, that is ID, I've given ID and name. Now here, should I ask this question from you guys? Do you know the importance of this ID and name? I've given the same values for both. But is it necessary to give both, or what is the purpose of ID and what is the purpose of name? Can I have your answer? What is the purpose of ID and what is the name? Yes.
To identify your ID, inputting text field, that field.
So what is the purpose of ID then? ID is used for that. And what is the name for? Name. Because I'm using same name and ID. Why in the world I'm using both of them? I'll come to you. I know you know the answer. Yeah. Anyone else? Why we are using both of them? What do you think?
I think ID to identify specific.
Now, please listen to this. I've asked let's save some time. ID is for scripts and name is for data submission on the other page. You guys getting that one? When I send this data to other page, name field I will recognize it for with. Did you guys remember when I was sending password? It was showing PWD on the top. That PWD was the name. Remember, title is equal to. They were the name, not the IDs. Should I hope you guys understand this? This is a very down deep, a little technical, little technical point. You understand what I'm saying? ID is for script access, be it JavaScript, be it CSS. Do you guys remember you used to give CSS styling to the IDs? Hash with the hash. Now, name is for getting the value of that text box on the other page or somewhere. Are you guys getting that one? I hope you remember that. Okay. So, okay, ID name, type is equal to text. You know type is equal to text. What is this class equal to U dash put? Now, this class is coming from skeleton CSS. If I take away this class, it is just making it full width. If I take away this class from here, Look at that. If I hit save here, look at that. Did you remember password was also coming like this? So U full width is actually a class provided by what? Skeleton. Because I'm using a skeleton CSS over here. I'm not doing my own styling over here. Make sense? So this is skeletons. So if we make it U dash full dash width as like this, all of them will become bigger. All of them will become full width. Okay, other than that, I don't want to discuss anything. Just last button. You see, I have given the U dash full dash width to this one as well, the button. And I can come here and I can say hit save. Look at that button will go to its original size. But I want to have that not original size. Okay, after that, we are about to take the break, by the way, just be ready. After that, the form is completed. Form is done. Now we have a table. And I would like to just discuss this table and we'll go for break. And after break, we have to do some wonderful things. Look at that. This table, first of all, full width. I've given an ID as well. There is a purpose behind that. I'll tell you. Now see here. It has a T head. Do you guys know T head? Yes. T head is the header. And TH. Do you see that? Title, ISBN, author, just the bottom of my screen. These are the headings coming up. Look at that. Then we have a T body. And I have given an ID of list over here. Do you guys know why I have given an ID of list over here? Because I have to create a row of this book and I have to embed it over here. Are you guys understanding? The same way as we did in the morning, in the first session. You remember we took the URLs and made that OL over there. Look at that. Dynamically, a button appears with every book, and we have to target that button. It's just one thing. Now I need to mention one more thing. This area will receive the newly prepared what row? Actually, I have to create a row. TR and shows the book. Are you guys getting that one? So this is just the table in the key body. So I've given the list ID so that I can access that and append child. Because what I have to append over here, if I tell you very clearly, if I tell you what I will be appending over here, I hope you guys know. Actually, it will be receiving this. Look at that. Somehow title should come here. How many of you guys understanding that? I'll have to just put it over here and author. Do you guys understand that? Actually, I have to produce, again, I have to produce this code from JavaScript and I have to put it over here. Yes.
What is the X for?
What is the X for? Anyone?
Deleting.
Deleting. I would put something for deletion of every record, every row. Then I'll delete that record. That's a good question. What is X for? X is for deletion. So I will create a record. So I will take title, ISBN, author. I'll put under them. And under this X, maybe I create a button or I put X, I write delete, but that delete or that button or that word will be used to delete that particular record. Is that a good introduction to HTML? The real thing is yet to done, but we'll do that very quickly if you guys understand this overall structure. And the first exercise as well, the previous exercise, right? So let's take,
If we do this one, are we supposed to understand the flow or anything?
I will try to explain it here as well completely, don't worry. But even then, if you have some questions, you look at the recording and you can ask me, next class, right? But I'll try to explain everything here, don't worry. I'll try to explain that. This one, because you missed that part, right? So I'll tell you how to do that, create element. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much. And let's take a break of 15-20 minutes and we'll be back and we'll have some fun stuff, right? Thank you.